Hello my fellow nerds, Calco here, and so we finally got the finale of Hazbin Hotel. Can't believe it was only 8 episodes, that makes me very sad. Anyways, time for me to go through all the little Easter eggs and explain certain concepts that might have gone over some people's heads. But before I begin, I want to address something that I said in the last video when I said that Lilith was not in the Bible. And I was correct, she is absolutely not in the Bible. Well, technically she is, but not as Adam's rebellious wife. She is in Jewish text, but didn't quite make it to the Bible. I don't think she quite made it into the Torah either. She is instead in supplementary Jewish literature. But as we look here with all the different versions of the Bible, she's basically just described as a monster that resides in hell. But before all of that, before the Abraham legends were first recorded, she was a demon in Mesopotamian folklore, as were a lot of goetic demons and a lot of creatures that were seen as demons in Christian lore. This person on Reddit describes it very well. Basically, the Lilith story was interpreted by this author to clear up the contradictions between Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. In Genesis 1, it has God creating man and woman as equals, and then in Genesis 2, it said that God made woman from man. So technically there are 2 different ways of telling the creation story. And one guy said, you know what, they can both be true. And then Lilith was made to be Adam's first wife. The oldest form of the whole Lilith story comes from the alphabet of Ben Sira, which was written between the 8th and 10th century. Like I said, she wasn't in the original text. She was in supplementary literature that came way after the Torah and Bible were written. And it was no doubt inspired by ancient Mesopotamian folklore, especially since later renditions describe her as a child kidnapper, or a temptress. After this lore came out, it then kind of spread to everywhere else. So I am still correct when I say that Lilith wasn't in the Bible, and that she isn't in the original Abrahamic text as Adam's first wife. She is in supplementary religious texts. Basically what I'm saying is she's not a universally agreed upon religious concept. She's more of a folklore figure than she is a religious figure. Kind of like how the Ars Goetia isn't exactly in the Bible either. They are also in supplementary religious texts. Same with the 7 princes of hell. I'm not saying she shouldn't be in this series, I think it's great to include her. I just wanted to give a bit more information of where exactly Lilith came from and how she was kind of worked into religious texts. At the start of episode 7, we see the story of hell next to Charlie's bedside, showing that she's been reading it to help calm her down, as we saw in the first episode. I'm just going to say it here that the favor Alistair needs from Charlie is going to be something that gets him off his leash. I'm just going to predict that here. If you look closely, we could see that Charlie's feet are hoof-like, as Vivsy talked about on Twitter. Organs and guts and other body parts can be seen in the windows of Cannibal Town. We also see some kind of bloody pastry stand. I also noticed there's a lot of kids in Cannibal Town. Or I think that they are sinners that happen to look like children. Maybe they ate children in their past life. Unless sinners can have kids. As we can see in the final version, Rosie is back to being a sinner demon, because before she was apparently supposed to be a hellborn. And this kind of confirms that overlords are kind of like lords in a feudal system, and the souls that they rule over are like their serfs or peasants. Rosie seems to sell cannibal products like bones and fingers, but she also sells clothes, which makes me wonder if there's a possible rivalry with Velvet. Probably not, because they seem to be very dated. The "You're an ace in a hole" line implies that Alistair is asexual, but due to Alistair's reaction, I don't think he knows he's asexual or what asexual really means. We also see some skin purses on this rack here. The multi-eyed truck guy we saw in the original is also back. In Charlie's original speech, we hear her stopping herself from saying the word partner during her speech due to her unclear situation with Vaggie. She then also starts to sing "Inside of Every Demon is a Rainbow." During their fight, Carmilla never even scratches Vaggie, showing that she wasn't actually ever trying to hurt her. Rosie has a base. During the "It's time to lend a hand" line, the cannibals hold up several severed arms, which I thought was kind of endearing. In episode 8, we are seeing the Exorcist weak spots on a diagram, and they are in the exact same spots as Carmilla described, or at least showed us when fighting Vaggie. We also see Nifty stabbing an Exorcist dummy. Vox is able to view them because we can see a drone in the corner. That's how he is monitoring them. Charlie is still using Alistair's mic in the final episode, and she seems to be absolutely enthralled by Sir Pentious' Admiral outfit. I mean, I am too. I love how the eyes are there instead of war medals. Sir Pentious has likely fought in a war, given that he's likely British, and the British had a lot of military conflicts around the 19th century. There are a lot of conflicts that he could have been involved in. We also get to see him actually use his welding tools. Is Angel Dust wearing lederhosen? The crown Nifty gives Alistair is made of roaches, needles, and gum. When Sir Pentious is hitting on Cherry, Charlie is fangirling and shipping the hell out of them. Snakes actually do have 2 dicks. I also really liked Angel wingmanning Sir Pentious. That was amazing. On Angel's door, we see more Polaroid pictures with Charlie, Nifty, and Husk, which is kind of a callback to the second episode. All of the Exorcists are female. Where the hell is Eve? Did Adam and Eve get divorced? So also confirm that Lute never washes her uniform? And Vaggie's OG name was Vaggie. Charlie's shield is kind of shaped like Lucifer with his wings with an apple in the middle. And Charlie is wearing her princess crown. Vox is the only one watching the battle at the start, and then Velvet also kind of shrinks away from Vox when he starts thrusting midair and just looking very disturbed. We see that Alistair's tentacles come out of his body as we see like parts of ripped clothing on them. Valentino only watches after Alistair goes down. And we could just see this look of disgust on his face with the "this is better than sex" line. Sir Pentious calls Vaggie Vagatha, which was her full name in the original, but apparently is not anymore. Charlie literally glitter bombs one of the angels. Then she produces fireworks from her finger, like we saw in the pilot. This expression had me rolling, I'm not going to lie. So Nifty got hit by the holy light and is completely fine. So I guess holy light doesn't kill them. So Sir Pentious has like 6 egg boys here, so apparently he just keeps making them. Charlie has a tail in her full form, and the pitchfork has the classic snake and apple iconography as well. So we do have it confirmed that Adam just wears his mask 24/7. I'm just gonna take a moment to appreciate this scene after the "I'm going to fuck you" line. Valentino has a pimpin' not simpin' mug. All of Lucifer's animal forms still have his classic top hat. And the many forms of Lucifer kind of are all references. We have the goat, which is something that Lucifer is commonly depicted as. We have the classic snake from the Garden of Eden. The bird I had to look up because owls and crows are depicted as demonic, but here Lucifer looks like he's shaped more like a yellowhammer, which is known as the devil's bird, except for the fact that he's not yellow, of course. Old legends link the yellowhammer to the devil. Its tongue supposedly bared a drop of Lucifer's blood, and they have this intricate pattern on their eggs that had supposedly concealed evil messages, which led to a lot of unfair killings of the bird back in the day. Then we also have a horse, which can refer to the Black Stallion and Satan, the Horse Devil and the Witch, or it's probably just a spindle horse reference. And then we have an octopus to where, they're just turning him into animals for fun at this point. I accidentally took this mid-transformation shot. And most importantly, we see Lucifer's full demon form here. We see that quite a few cannibals were killed during this skirmish. Nifty is the only one in the group that raises her hand when Lucifer asks who wants pancakes. Brandon Rogers, the voice of Blitzo, voices Katie Killjoy in this version. The underline is pretty funny, and the funniest part of the underline here is that it asks when season 2 is. Right after Tom Trench gives up, he gets instantly covered by a graphic and then flips off everybody. Rosie has a black and white TV. While showing the different people watching the broadcast, we see a couple of Easter eggs. We see Baxter, the demon in episode 1, and Arachnus, who was originally supposed to be Angel's brother. First thing Husk finds in the rubble of the hotel is booze, and we get to see a very distressed Angel looking for fat nuggets. I just noticed now that they drew a snake on the Happy First Week Sir Pentious banner. I knew someone was going to die, as that's what they said during the live stream before the episode came out. I didn't know it would be Sir Pentious. Vivzie did stay true to her word that Serpentius was going to do something important, though. So in this universe, they're going by the humanity is only 10,000 years old thing, like the Bible says. Kiki turns into a key again, and then a magic wand? There are pentagrams on the scaffolding, and apparently Carmine makes drills, and Nifty could not be happier to be using it. On Vox's desk, we notice quite a few different Easter eggs. We have an "I'm the best" note in the corner. Lucifer's picture has a picture of a pigeon next to it in a top hat. Alistair's photo is the only one in black and white, and he's wearing his pilot outfit in it. You can see because there's no white accents on his collar. Carmilla's photo is the same one that Velvet took during the meeting, with all the poop emojis around it. I love the shrine to Serpentius with him in his war outfit. This is definitely going to be an Easter egg that we'll see on the background in Season 2. And we see that one egg boy remains. So at this point in the song, this is everyone's first time realizing that Alistair is alive, and everyone except for Husk and Lucifer are happy. We also see Vox and Val making out at the end. Razzle here is seen polishing up a statue to his fallen brother, since Dazzle died. We see the new hotel has a little bit of everyone in it. We have the suits of cards, which kind of represent Husk. We have the little hearts that kind of represent Angel, and maybe the X's from Cherry Bomb. We have the musical notes representing Charlie. We have the apple representing Lucifer. We have Alistair's new and improved radio tower. Nifty's eye at the top with Vaggy's wings. In his angel form, Serpentius has hearts all over him because he died out of love for his friends and possibly for Cherry. And his eye aesthetic fits the rest of the angels. Sarah and Emily seem quite surprised that he's here and that he bypassed the pearly gates to get right into Sarah's office. Sarah looks so disturbed. And so the way to rehabilitate sinners is to kill them or have them die heroic death? So hell is forever. Except if you're Lilith, apparently. Most of the songs throughout the series are referenced in the final episodes. Out of Love is a callback for Whatever It Takes because Camilla and Vaggy are in the same song, but they're not singing it together and they're now in the same space. A slow version of Stayed Gone is in the background of Vox's opening scene. We hear Loser Baby in the background during Angel and Husk's conversation. Out of Love starts with a similar opening as in Respectless. Adam's golden guitar from Hell is Forever is part of his weapon. We even hear a little bit of Angel's theme Slutty Spider's Polka Pop when he saves one of the Egg Boys. This was a theme that was made by Gooseworks, which, if you don't know, worked on the Amazing Digital Circus. And of course we get reprises of Happy Day in Hell, More Than Anything, Stayed Gone, a lot of little musical Easter eggs. Overall, we had quite an eventful season. The pacing was very, very fast, but given that there's only 8 episodes, understandable that it had to be fast. I wish they would have given her more episodes to work with, but I bet that Vivzie is wishing for the same thing. So apparently Season 2 we are getting this year. If not, there's still the rest of Hell of a Boss Season 2 to get to. But until then, keep on studying.